The information provided by Trading Forex Price Action to you does not constitute personal financial advice. The information provided is of a general nature only and does not take into account your individual objectives, financial situation, or needs. It should not be used, relied upon, or treated as a substitute for specific professional advice.
Weekly Forecast.
Hey guys, this is the weekly forecast for August 23rd through the 27th of 2021. Okay, we'll start off with the Eurojpy pair. This is the weekly chart. We'll start off with an overview. So the last long trade that formed was right here with the stop loss at this pivot low right here. And roughly 2 months ago, there was a possible compact short price action that formed right here, which shows strong strength short. And although there isn't full confirmation of this compact short price action, there were partial confirmations on the daily charts in this area, right here, and right here. And so in the long term, I'm short bias right back down to that last weekly long trade stop loss level, which is right here. Moreover, since the short-term bias for the last couple of weeks was short, right back down to this pivot low right here, and that pivot was hit this week. For the current moment in the short term, I am neutral biased. Okay, let's talk entries. Okay, we'll stay on this weekly chart. Let me run you by the setup I've been looking at for the past couple of months. So the last long trade that formed was right here, with the stop loss at this pivot low right here, and then a week short trade formed right here. And so as price pulled back, I was looking for long entries on the lower time frames, with the main target at this pivot high right here, and that target was hit right here. And then right after, there was another week short trade that formed right here. So as price pulled back again, I was looking for long trades with this main target at this new pivot high as a target. And then as price came up at this price level, there were actually two short trades that were actually stronger than the last weekly long trade. However, both these short trades hit its target at a monthly medium gap at this level right here. So again, as price pulled back in both these areas, I was looking for long trades right up to this pivot high as the main target. And then as price reached these levels up here, roughly 2 months ago, there was possible compact short price action that formed right here, which shows strong strength down. And although there wasn't full confirmation of this compact short price action, there was partial confirmation on the daily chart in this area right here. So as price pulled back in this area right here, if you recall, I took a short entry at 132.50 right here with its main stop loss at this pivot high right here, and its main target being way down here. Okay, and again, like I mentioned in the overview, there was further confirmation of this compact short price action this week because price reached this pivot low right here. So let me go ahead and explain to you this daily confirmation that further confirmed the legitimacy of this compact short price action. So let's go over to the daily chart. Okay, again, so on this daily chart, that possible compact short price action formed in this area right here. And that first confirmation was this daily fake HNS that formed right here, which shows short-term long strength. However, price still pushed down to its target height level roughly in these areas, which actually shows short-term short strength. Since although there was short-term long strength, price was still able to push down to its target height level at these areas right here. Okay, so that was the first confirmation for the legitimacy of this compact short price action that formed right here. And then following that, we had 3 strong daily long trades that formed right here. But as you can see, price came back down and stopped out all the stop loss levels for these strong long trades right here, further confirming the legitimacy of the compact short price action. And that last strong daily long trade stop loss at this level right here was stopped out this week. Alright, so for the confirmation of the legitimacy of the compact short price action at this point is nearly 100%. For although there were strong long trades on the daily chart, price has been continuously stopping out all those stop loss levels, showing that in fact the compact short price action that formed at this level was legitimate. Okay, so at this point I still have 100% of my position that I entered at 132.50 at this level right here, and the stop loss at this pivot high. Alright, so let me just show you some price levels that I want price to reach to further confirm that last 1% for the legitimacy of this compact short price action. Alright, so let's go back to the weekly chart. Okay, so again on this weekly chart, that short trade I entered at 132.50 is right here, and a stop loss at this pivot high, and its main target being way down here at these levels, where the last weekly long trade stop loss level is. But now along with higher time frame price levels, which have strong long strength, in order to confirm that last 1% for the legitimacy of this compact short price action, I want price to reach these levels. Now one was right here, which price already touched this week. Moreover, another level right here. And finally, the last level being right here. Now the reason why if these price levels are reached adds confirmation to the legitimacy of that compact short price action is because the market has a tendency to stop out the traders that still have long positions on this pair. So in other words, the market has a tendency to stop out the traders that are on the wrong side of the market. So another way to explain this is that, like I mentioned earlier, there was a weak short trade that formed right here, and there was a strong long trade. And therefore, as price pulled back, I was looking for long entries on the lower time frames, with its main target being at the stop loss level of the last weekly short trade. Now these main targets are partially based on the idea that the market has the tendency to stop out the traders that are on the wrong side of the market. Alright, so therefore on each of these pivots where I was previously looking for long trades, these pivots now become points of interest since I'm now short biased right back down to this pivot low right here. Okay, so a good thing to remember is that when you're analyzing charts, you definitely want to keep your analysis of previous price action. For like in this case, it can become handy. Alright, so let me just show you what I'm looking for in terms of entries for this pair. So let's go over to the monthly chart. Okay, so on this monthly chart, the first thing I want to see is for price to close under this monthly medium gap right here. Now we did get a close under this gap on the weekly chart this week. However, I do want to see a monthly close also. Now with this in mind, in terms of entries, I will be looking on the daily charts to see if there are any setups in which a daily long trade is weaker than a daily short trade. Now in this case, I'll take a short entry with its main stop loss at this hypothetical short trade's pivot high right here, and its main target at the hypothetical long trade's pivot low stop loss level. Now one caveat to this setup is, like I mentioned earlier, I'll only take this type of setup if it forms under this monthly medium gap level. Now the reason being is because this monthly gap is providing a lot of long strength, and therefore if this setup forms within this monthly gap, it is highly unlikely that a daily short trade will be stronger than a daily long trade at price levels under this monthly gap level. Alright, and moreover, I'm also looking for intraday price pattern setups that I could take along with this higher time frame bias short. So let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Alright, so again on this 4-hour chart, I took that short trade at 132.50 at this price level, and its main stop loss being right here, and its main target being at that last weekly long trade stop loss level way below. Now if you recall, there were a couple price pattern setups that formed in this area down. However, none of them were tradable. Now if you recall, one was this HNS right here, which was not up to par aesthetically because the head was too tall in comparison to its two shoulders. And moreover, there was another HNS at this level right here that was also not up to par aesthetically, this time for the reason that this HNS itself was too large in comparison to its prior leg down right here. However, I'll still be watching for any legitimate or fake price patterns to set up for an intraday short trade, and this is regardless if it forms within or under that monthly gap level I was showing you earlier. Okay, and last but not least, I'm always looking for any compact long price action to form, in which case if this does form, I would abort the short trade altogether, and moreover change my weekly bias from short into long with its main target at the stop loss level at that last compact short price action that formed right here. Alright, so let's go on to the euro dollar. Okay, and if you're having trouble understanding what I'm talking about in terms of fake and legitimate price patterns and weekly biases and whatnot, please watch my price action trading course, for that course is designed to provide you the necessary information so you can understand these forecasts and analysis. Alright, so this is a Euro USD monthly chart. We'll start off with an overview. So since this price action right here is very strong short, and this move's still having a ways to go, in the long term I'm short biased, right back down to this pivot low right here. However, because of a breakout of this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, and that breakout being right here, in the medium term I'm long biased, right back up to this pivot high right here. However, because the weekly bias for the last couple of months was short, and its main target being hit at this level this week, in the short term I'm neutral biased. Okay, let's talk entries. Alright, this is a weekly chart. Let me run you by the setup I've been looking at for the past couple of months. So there was a strong short trade that formed right here. Then a week long trade formed. So as price pulled back, I was looking for short trades on the lower time frame down to this pivot low as a target. Then the same thing happened, another week long trade formed. So as price pulled back, I was again looking for short trades, this time down to this pivot low as a target. And then furthermore, another week long trade formed. So as price pulled back close to the last weekly short trade stop loss level, which is at this pivot high right here. If you recall, I took a short entry at this 1.2230 level right here, with the stop loss at this pivot high right here, and its main target being right back down here. Then a couple weeks later, there was another strong short trade that formed right here, with this stop loss at this pivot high right here. So at this point, I moved that original short trade stop loss from this pivot high down to this pivot high right here, where the new weekly short trade stop loss level is. And then as price pulled back in this area, and since my stop loss is at this pivot high at this point, giving me a good risk to reward ratio for another short trade, I entered a second short trade at this 1.2150 level right here, again with the stop loss at this pivot high right here and its main target being right back down here. And then as price fell down to these levels right here, if you recall, I took out 90% of both positions roughly in this area, which is actually before hitting its main target due to overall trade management reasons. And then this week, price reached its main target at that last weekly long trade stop loss level right here. Okay, so at this point, I still have 10% of both those positions in to see if it could get to its extension targets. So let me show you what I'm looking at in terms of trade management of the remainder of those short positions. So let's go over to the monthly chart. Okay, so on this monthly chart, there's two gap levels, one medium one right here, and another one right below, which is a little bit smaller right here. Now the first thing I want to see is a monthly close under these levels, which exposes extension targets below. So one price level I'm planning to take out another 5% of both positions is at a monthly trend line level. So let me just go ahead and show you that. Let me zoom out. Okay, so this trend line is like I showed you on the overview from this pivot to this pivot right here. Now seeing that this trend line is a prominent trend line with this nice breakout right here, if price could get through those gap levels and reach this retest of this trend line, at this point, I'm willing to take out another 5% of both those short positions. Okay, moreover, let me show you what I'm looking for in terms of entries for this pair in the future. So let's go back to the weekly chart. Okay, so on this weekly chart, since that main target was hit at this level at this point, the weekly bias for the time being is neutral. So at this point, I'll be looking for a long trade to form, and then a short trade to form, and then I'll gauge the strength of each one of these. And if there's more short strength than long strength, then again, I'll be looking for short entries, with a stop loss at that short trade's pivot high stop loss level and its main target at the hypothetical long trade's pivot low stop loss level. And imposingly, if this long trade is stronger than this short trade, the stop loss and targets will reverse. So in other words, I'll be looking for long entries with its main stop loss at the long trade's pivot low right here and its main target at the short trade's pivot high. Now moreover, since this weekly bias is neutral at this point, I'll also be looking for this type of bias setup on the daily chart also. Alright, and it's one thing I want to mention about price patterns. So let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so on this 4-hour chart for the past couple of months, where we're looking at these price patterns that we could trade intraday short trades along with the higher time frame short bias. The double bottom right here and HNS right here. And this week, there seems to be a 4-hour fake double bottom that's forming right here. However, at this point, since the weekly bias's target was hit at this level, the methods I've been using to trade these intraday price patterns is no longer valid, for the weekly bias is no longer short, again because its main target was hit this week. So this type of price pattern trading, along with the higher time frames bias, I'm going to be waiting for daily or weekly bias to set up first, so I could again start trading these intraday price patterns. Alright, so that's it for the weekly forecast. I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye.